Hi guys, welcome back to another series of Bursa case studies. So as usual, we'll start off with the index reviews, and then it will be followed by the list of case studies we have for next week lah. Okay, so we start off with the Nasdaq. So I previously anticipated that there will be a head and shoulders formation over here, and then it broke down, but after that it was met with support, so technically the head and shoulders kind of failed lah. Okay, so a failed head and shoulders is actually quite a bullish indication, and Friday's candle seems like it kind of confirms that the breakdown did not happen, so it's turned bullish. The candle on Friday is quite bullish, but one candle is not enough to prove that it has turned around. You will need a few more days, about 3 or 4 days lah. Okay, so we will continue monitoring to see where the direction of the market is, but looking at this, it has actually come out of the two resistance which it formed previously lah. Okay, it was like one shoulder over here, then it formed a small shoulder going to break down, but rescued on Friday. Okay, so the breakdown doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Okay, so we will continue to see what happens. I think for the Dow Jones and US 500 and also the Russell 2000, it's quite a similar story. Comparatively, among all the four indices, Nasdaq seems to be the strongest compared to Dow Jones, S&P 500 and also the Russell 2000. Okay, looking at the Dow Jones 30, you can see that actually it broke down and is quite far from the neckline. Okay, the S&P 500 is quite near to the neckline, while the Russell 2000 is also quite far from the neckline now. Okay, so Nasdaq is the only one that actually didn't really even break the neckline. Okay, it was just hovering nearby the neckline, and then once the data news came out, it actually went up higher. Okay, so Dow Jones 30 will take some time to recover. Okay, it's not as strong as the Nasdaq and S&P 500. Okay, S&P 500 actually hit the 200 days moving average and rebounded. Okay, whereas the Russell 2000 is actually quite bearish lah. It's looking quite similar to the Dow Jones chart. Okay, so now we move on to the Bursa's index. So on Friday, actually this candle is kind of don't know where to go kind of candle lah. Okay, for the past 3 days it has been showing quite a similar candle. What color the candle closes is not important, but looking at the candle, it looks more like it's not sure, it's not certain which direction it wants to go to lah. Okay, so I feel there's really nothing much here. This candle over here was a bad candle. It actually broke quite a number of supports, and I think the market was also quite bad on that day. Okay, market is kind of stabilizing now lah. Okay, whether it's going to become a bullish October or not, I think it will depend first on whether US is going to become bullish or not. Okay, we most likely will follow the trend over there. Okay, so then the small cap index, like I mentioned again, I don't really like a V kind of correction. So this is actually what happened. You can see that when it washes down, it's quite bad. You see, so far previously it has never washed down so badly before. Okay, this one came up, didn't build any base, so when it gets washed down, it gets washed down badly, but you know that this is a support. Okay, and then this one also, it comes up and gets washed down quite badly. Okay, so however, it looks like it has already found its new bottom. It's a small higher base, and it's coincidentally also rebounding on the 50-day moving average of the small cap index. Okay, which may look quite bullish lah. Okay, if we zoom out further, this is also another failed head and shoulders. Okay, just to give you a rough idea on what can happen during a failed head and shoulders. In fact, this is quite similar to what happened to the Nasdaq. Okay, a head and shoulders over here, and then came down, looks like breakdown, then came back up again, you know, touched the neckline, and then came back down and rebounded. Okay, similar to this. Okay, actually broke down already. Okay, touch the neck, come back, go above the neckline, come back down and go up. Quite similar to what the small cap is experiencing lah. Okay, so previously experienced. So I think things look quite good for the small cap index and also the Nasdaq. We will have to confirm it within another 3 to 5 trading days lah, to see whether is just a one day show, or is it a continuous thing? Okay, so what's important is you need a follow through in buying lah. Okay, it cannot be just a one day buying, it has to be a continued kind of buying lah. Okay, so next is the Hang Seng Index, which is the Hong Kong index. So you can see it actually formed a new low over here and then rebounded with a strong candle on Friday lah. This is a solid one. The whole candle is the body of it lah. Okay, so actually if you look at the Hang Seng and you track on the Hang Seng, you will notice that every time it forms a new low, it tends to rebound. Okay, so you see here, new low, rebound, new low, and then come back, and then another new low, rebound again. Okay, this one didn't form a new low, rebound, new low again, rebound, another new low. Okay, so this is basically the Hang Seng pattern lah, how it works. Okay, so it is kind of like a technical rebound from the Hang Seng now lah. Okay, so that's for Hang Seng. But if you look at it, it's still forming lower lows and lower highs along the way, so technically it's bearish lah. Okay, now China A50 index is quite similar to Hang Seng. It's forming a new low already, and the general trend of it is still going lower lah. It's still bearish. Okay, so not much changes. Most likely there will be a technical rebound before it decides to go lower again. Okay, so now Nikkei index. This line wasn't drawn by me today, or neither was it drawn by me on Wednesday. It was drawn I think many weeks ago when I saw this thing over here. So you can see that it's not really forming a new high, and neither is it forming a higher low. It's forming lower lows and lower highs, which is something you need to be careful of lah. Okay, for the Nikkei index, I don't think it's performing that well anymore. It's no longer like previously where it was happily forming all-time highs. Okay, this one now you need to be a bit more cautious lah. Okay, oil, UK oil. The oil index actually dived down quite badly recently. I think similar to the Malaysian oil counters. Oil prices have been dropping quite significantly. You will need to find a new base before you can actually decide to go up higher again. Okay, this is a very bearish candle, directly penetrating the 50 days moving average, and it may just come to about the 200-day moving average before attempting to rebound. I'm not sure, but do take note that the support is at about 81.69. Okay, so that's a support to watch out. If it breaks, then it's likely to go lower to find a base. Okay, this was a very strong base. It's about 71. Okay, this is the short index for the Nasdaq ETF, short index for the SOXL in semiconductor ETF. Okay, this is XOXL itself. VIX is currently red. Okay, it actually broke out but came back down. This is the US dollar index, which actually came back down after getting quite a big gap up on Friday itself due to the employment news. And also this is the 10-year yield. Okay, so yield and stocks are actually inversely proportional. This yield has already formed a double bottom about this zone, and it needs to come down for stocks to continue going up lah. Okay, even though it has been going up together with stocks, but usually it doesn't. Okay, so that's all for the indexes. Now we go over to the watch list. Technically this is the shortest watch list that I've ever had. Most of the stocks has either run up a lot, or it is still in a very bearish momentum lah. So there's nothing educational about it lah. Okay, if I were to pick those stocks for a case study. Okay, so first stock will be PIE. PIE is an EMS counter. You should take note that EMS counters industries are not doing that well lah. Okay, at times VS, SK Press, they are not really doing that well. I think most of them have turned red recently, but PIE seems to still be quite strong lah. Okay, if you look at the chart, it's supported by the 50 days moving average, which was previously coming down. Now it's turning up back. Okay, I think most likely the 200 days moving average will be a resistance for it lah. Okay, we can just have a look at 150 as well. Yeah, it's above. It will most likely turn into a resistance for PIE when it goes up. Okay, that's just usually how the moving averages work. So the good thing about this chart is that the volume recently it has been quite low, okay, compared to the previous days. I mean last time, previous time, volume has been quite high, but now the volume has been quite low. So the counter's shares rate is also low lah, about 143 million only. Okay, I think this stock was pretty expensive last time. Yep, about 4 ringgit. Now it's trading at about 3 ringgit lah. Okay, if you look at it on a further scale, it looks more like a sideways lah. Okay, it doesn't really have a confirmed trend direction yet, so we will need to see. But it seems supported by the 50 days moving average now, and the volume recently is quite low lah. Okay, so it may be something good to see whether it's able to break out from this resistance at 3.05 or not. Okay. Okay, next stock will be Itmax. If you notice this drawing, I actually covered this stock before previously, quite some time ago. I did multiple cups. Then this one was kind of like a washout kind of pattern. Okay, you can see actually there isn't even much volume here, basically almost zero. Okay, it was just a washout pattern. Then they pushed it up, and here it actually broke out lah. I think it broke out with some news as well. Okay, so it was literally anticipating the news. So this stock actually, this is the first breakout after the IPO lah. Okay, it's the first breakout, so there may be some meat to it. I'm not sure. Okay, currently it's resting at this base. It formed at about 1.76. Okay, and the resistance is at 1.87 lah. Okay, the breakout volume, this one albeit is very high, but the candle not very nice lah. I don't really like this kind of candle because the wick is very long. Okay, and you see the following days actually the wicks are all quite long lah. Okay, it shows that there is some level of resistance. There's some amount of sellers over there lah. Okay, so we will need to see, but it is, you can see it's forming a base over at 1.76. okay, and the resistance will be at 1.87 lah. Okay. Okay, next stock is Yongtai. Actually nothing much has changed for Yongtai. I included this because I want to see what plays out for the stock. Okay, you can see it's actually a kind of sideways kind of momentum over here from left to right. Okay, the volume here is high, but maybe half of the volume here is actually sellers. Okay, and then here also high volume. Not much sellers, not so high volume, and then on Friday is quite high volume again. Okay, so there may be something brewing behind, I'm not sure, but looking at the volume looks like it's possible lah. Okay, the support is and resistance still remains the same. Okay, and it needs to break out from this level lah before you can confirm it has resumed an uptrend. Okay, so if you see from here, it has been going uptrend, then it has been resting for quite a number quite long lah, from June until now, and then now it's attempting to come out again lah. Okay. Okay, next is Muhibah. This stock is interesting because I think there's not many stocks in Bursa that form inverse head and shoulders lah. Okay, it takes a very long time to form. This pattern is from February up until now October lah, so it's about 6 months, no, 8 months lah. Okay, it's about 8 months already. So you can see that it formed left shoulder, head, and then right shoulder, and then here it actually formed another cup first before it's going to attempt to break out. Okay, it follows the current market lah, current market bed, so you know it dropped together. Now it's slowly climbing up again lah. Okay, so it's going to be interesting because like I said, it's quite rare for you to find inverse head and shoulder stocks in Bursa. We will watch the play lah. Okay, the other stock that happened inverse head and shoulders is Saipak lah. Okay, you can actually see something like this, and then it broke out. Okay, so I don't know whether the same will happen to Muhibah or not, but I mean the pattern looks quite interesting lah. Okay, next is Redtone. Redtone had a very fierce breakout on Monday. Okay, 25th September. High volume gap up, but then it was met by quite a lot of sellers over here. So you know that the 74 cents and above, there's actually a lot of sellers lah. Okay, so it actually got sold down again, and came down, filled the gap, and is now building a new base lah. Okay, there's a high possibility the base is going to be about 68.5 to 69 cents lah. Okay, so that may be the new support for the stock. Then the other support will be at 0.63. Okay, most likely you will attempt to close this gap and then consolidate a while before it attempts to re-challenge the resistance again. Okay, most likely you will close the gap. Okay, looking at this, because this one gap up already also so fast, want to come and close by the gap already, most likely it will lah. Okay. Okay, next is Slvest. I also covered this stock in last week's case studies. I was anticipating that this area will become a new support. So far it looks like yes. Okay, it looks like it has formed a new support over here, and it's going up back lah. Okay, to re-challenge the previous resistance of 1.36. Okay, so the support looks quite clear at 1.28, while the resistance is at 1.36. It's the only solar counter that I feel the chart looks nice lah. Okay, the others look more like forming lower lows and lower highs, whereas Slvest is not. Okay, Slvest can turn out to become the leader to lead the RE to come back up again, or it may just be a solo thing because you know the company is performing much better. Okay, but usually leaders will lead, and the rest of the sector will tend to follow lah. Okay, that's how it usually works. So at the moment, it's going to re-challenge the 1.36 resistance with the support of about 1.28 lah. Okay. Ancomny, this stock quite fierce also. Broke out here with high volume continuously and didn't really look back lah. Okay, one shot cover a lot of resistance lah. Okay. 50 days and 200 days look like the moving average look like it's going to cross over soon. It formed a new support at about 1.17. It didn't pick the previous support of previous resistance of 1.16 lah. Okay, it kind of continued. It kind of only pulled back until 1.17, and it formed a base over there. So you can see that recently the volume has been quite low also. Okay, because the base is quiet lah. It's good lah to have a quiet base. Just that the price action hasn't been that tight lah. Okay, the gap of the price action has been quite big. Okay, so it is more likely to move up, you know, form a base and then attempt to continue to re-challenge this high lah, 1.28, which was formed earlier in February this year. Okay, so if it does, then you will see it's kind of like a really rounding bottom kind of thing. Okay, which is a pretty bullish thing lah. Okay, so we see whether the support takes place or not. Okay, and whether it's able to break off from the resistance or not lah. Okay, but the shape looks like a rounding bottom lah. Okay. Or you can even say it's multiple cups lah. Yeah. This one not suitable to be called cup and handle. This correction is too far to be considered as a cup and handle from this. Okay. Okay. Next is Coastal. Okay. Why is Coastal included? Because Coastal has a lot of this kind of candles. Okay. This one's something like a long wick above. If we study Steve Nison's book on Japanese candlesticks, this is actually a potential reversal candle lah. Okay, so when candles are like this at the bottom, there is a possibility that there is a reversal. Okay, so I included this as an education, like my video is for education only. So this case study is to see whether this will work out or not. Okay, like what's the possibility when you see this kind of candle is going to, you know, reverse. Okay, we can have a low. So this one first formed, then it came up, you know, it actually continued going higher, then got washed down, and then now it's forming again over here lah. Okay, so it depends on the market. Okay, but the reversal candle is there lah. Okay, next is Jtiasa. Jtiasa, I think also last week I included the resistance turn support is about 86 cents. Okay, but it actually came lower to about 84.5 cents. Okay, the resistance turn support is just a point of reference. Does not mean like, you know, if there's a possibility or it actually turned the previous resistance into support, then definitely it's going to rebound there. It's not like that lah. Okay, it's not really a prediction game lah. Okay, it's more of we react to what happened lah, that kind of game. Okay, so currently it actually touched the 0.86, then came lower to 0.845, and it looks like it's forming a support there lah before it attempts to rebound. Volume has been quite low lah. Okay, compared to the breakout days, volume has been considerably low. Okay, which is a very good thing to see. You have to see whether it actually continues the momentum or not. In terms of moving average, 50, 150 and 200 days moving average is actually bullish lah. Okay, all are on top of the other. which is actually a very good thing to see. So but you need to know Jtiasa is actually a palm oil counter, so I don't know what or how bullish the palm oil counter palm oil prices are. Okay, Wcehb, this is the last counter I have as a case study. Okay, you can see high volume over here for 2 days, and then it challenged the resistance at 0.82. Okay, then it came back down until on Friday. Actually the very high volume came in now. Okay, and it's attempting to break out again, but it hasn't reached the breakout level yet. Okay, the basis along the way, that means coming down, has been of low volume, something good to have. And on Friday the volume is quite high, but it's not as high as the candle on Thursday. Okay, so you need to be a bit cautious to see whether it's actually really a retailer candle or is it really a institution candle lah. Okay, so this one have to wait and see. The support and resistance is as follows. I don't think it has changed yet lah. Okay, like I say, previous resistance turn support, this was the previous resistance, but it chose this level lah. So it's just a point of reference, not necessarily will be exactly correct one. Okay, stocks don't necessarily need to follow it. Okay, so that will be all for this week's case studies. I think, yeah, this is the shortest. Not much interesting cases to see in Bursa. So as usual, a disclaimer, this video is entirely for educational purpose only. There is no buy or sell call involved in this video. Okay, if you require a buy or sell call, please seek your remiser or your licensed financial advisor. Okay, this entire video is for educational purpose only, and there is no buy or sell call involved in this video. Okay, so with that, I think that will be all for this week. And if you enjoyed the video, do remember to like, subscribe, and share the video so that others can benefit as well. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Bye bye.
If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos.